www.rwandair.com.
News from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Moving Lagos forward.
Hello and good afternoon. Here is the news afternoon. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu tasks young Lagosians on adding value to the state with talent. Nigeria Employers Consultative Association confirms loss of over 15 multinationals in 3 years. And the United Nations General Assembly meets on Tuesday to discuss humanitarian crisis in Gaza. And in sports, Nigeria Olympics Committee laments poor funding for African Games, Paris 2024 preparations, and now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has entered by his deputy Obafemi Hamzat at the 2023 Lagos Food Fest with the theme A Fusion of Flavors. Noted that the event is an avenue to showcase the talent of young people in a manner that will enhance revenue generation both for them and the state government. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who noted that talent will not amount to anything if the bearers cannot look inwards and provide solutions to problems within their communities, urged youths to tap into the various empowerment programs in aquaculture, poultry, snail farming by the Ministry of Agriculture.
So they are looking inward to say, how can we add value? That's what I see here. Prosperity, ingenuity, innovation. We cannot be a nation of complainants.
In a highlight of the event, the governor, accompanied by the secretary to the state government, Abimbola Saluhunde, and other top government functionaries, toured the market exhibition before participating in a cooking exercise. LASMA has released letters of termination of appointment and reprimand to all 7 indicted officials of the agency at Oshodi, Lagos. Director, Public Affairs and Enlightenment Department of LASMA, Adebayo Taufik, in a statement confirmed by the Lagos State Civil Service Commission. Adebayo said, while 5 of the officials indicted for corruption received letters of termination of appointment, 2 received a letter of reprimand, has stated that the disciplinary action taken was in line with the excellent rules as guided by the Lagos State Civil Service Rules and Regulations. Bakaruki maintained that the agency would only get better if and when members of the public share their experiences, including positive ones, and provide evidence where applicable of perceived misdemeanors. He implored road users in Lagos to always comply with the state traffic law in order not to run foul of the law, which will attract penalties as stated in the law. Lagos residents have called for collective action and conscious efforts to strengthen and sustain peaceful coexistence within Lagos communities. They made the call at the Walk for Love and Unity, organized by Lafiaji community in Lagos Island area of the state. The walk was aimed at sensitizing residents on the need to live peacefully, irrespective of their differences. Speaking in separate interviews, some of them raised concerns about drug abuse, street fight, and other social vices, urging youths to embrace ethical behaviors that would help build a functional society. They urged government at all levels to tackle unemployment rates by providing gainful employment for youths.
We want our community to be peaceful and unified. Everybody should join hands together and make love. Let Lagos Island be Lagos Island the way we were before.
Parents should, try to talk to their children against drug abuse, so many things like that.
Every Lagos Island should come together as one so that we can bring ourselves together.
I don't know why peace disappear, but this is to bring them back together. This movement is going to be a yearly thing. We are not stopping it here. And the advice for youths, they should use this medium to bring themselves together and look for something better amongst themselves in the community.
Our reporter Adirayo Duwolaya reports that residents of other Lagos Island communities, Okofaji, Campus, Ekmetedu, Olugbu, and others joined the procession from Lewis, Igbosheri, TBS, Waterboy, Bonny Camp, Law School, and back to Obalindi. And now to the rest of the stories. Data from the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, has confirmed that the nation lost over 15 foreign businesses in the last 3 years to unfavorable environment. NECA says global brands with over 20,000 workers had either divested or partially closed operations. This, according to NECA, has dire consequences not only for organized businesses but also for labor, government revenue, and households. Expressing the association's reservations, NECA's Director General Aduwale Smart Oyerinde notes that the divestment will seriously affect the federal government's efforts to attract foreign direct investment. Also, Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, Shegun Ajayi Kadri, says the country needs investments to create more jobs. The Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, Aderemi Aduyi, has pledged to provide appropriate security across the state to ensure peaceful and serene Christmas and New Year celebrations. Aduyi said the police will ensure that criminals do not exploit the calm situation being experienced now to disrupt the peace of the state. He said measures are on ground to provide adequate safety and security of everyone in Anambra State. Aduyi explained that the Inspector General of Police did not stop the protection of VIPs, but that such protection would not be by the police mobile force, which is trained for riot control, ensuring order, and managing conflicts. And in some foreign news, the United Nations General Assembly will meet on Tuesday to discuss the humanitarian crisis in Gaza after the United States last week vetoed a Security Council resolution for a ceasefire. On Friday, the U.S. blocked the ceasefire resolution, which came after UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called an emergency meeting of the Security Council, deploying the rarely used Article 99 of the UN Charter to bring to the Council's attention any matter which, in his opinion, may threaten the maintenance of international peace and security. At the end of October, in another of its resolutions, the General Assembly called for an immediate, durable, and sustained humanitarian truce, leading to a cessation of hostilities between Israel and Hamas. 2 weeks later, the Security Council broke its silence on the war for the first time by calling for using less clear language than a ceasefire or a truce. And over to sports news. The Nigeria Olympics Committee, NOC, has expressed worry that poor finances are affecting National Sports Federation's preparations for next year's African Games and Paris 2024 Olympics. NOC Media Officer Tony Nzai said the poor economic situation in the country has put the Federation under pressure as they strive to give their athletes adequate training and exposure to excel at the international events next year. Zaya said to ameliorate the situation, the body is seeking ways of ensuring that Nigerian athletes get the required training to excel in international events. Other than that, it is exploring every means possible to help the federations. The 2024 African Games will hold from March 8 to March 23 in Accra, Ghana, while the Paris 2024 Olympics will run from July 26 to August 11, 2024. And that was our news at 12. But just before we go, stay alive. Make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration deployed traffic lights and CCTV cameras in strategic places in the state? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged young Lagosians to add value to themselves and the state by looking inwards and using their talents to solve challenges around them. Data from Nigeria Employers Consultative Association (NECA) has confirmed that the nation lost over 15 foreign businesses in the last 3 years to unfavorable environment. We also told you that the United Nations General Assembly will meet on Tuesday to discuss the humanitarian crisis in Gaza after the United States last week vetoed a Security Council resolution for a ceasefire. In sport, the Nigeria Olympics Committee, NOC, has expressed worry that poor finances are affecting National Sports Federation's preparations for next year's African Games and Paris 2024 Olympics. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to newsroom@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Adeswa Echoyoka. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Great, sunny, beautiful Monday afternoon to you. It's now time for me to step aside for Micah Arocha as it takes us through fire service calling to have a wonderful time.